if our self-image has not expanded to hold the space for that money coming in, it goes away as fast as it comes. It's like a colander. It just bleeds out the bottom. So we're going to talk about practical, but we're also going to talk about mindset today. And we're going to be questioning our assumptions. And what I wanted to have happen is I wanted to serve as a jump start for this new beginning. And you'll probably need to watch it a few times because I'm going to go fast. And I'll tell you, if you show up to this and you're like, this was helpful, I see the changes, this is the thing that I could really use more time on, I'm down on those conversations. Like, if you want more of this, I would more than happy make myself available to you. But if we go into self-sabotage and we're like, I don't know what to do, and you can't even ask me for more help, or you can't say I want more, then nothing happens. So this is where we're all working together. If we want more, just ask for more. And there's so much I could uncover for you and help you, but I do it at request now, right? We got our schedule, we got our thing, but if you want more, we will make time for more, okay? This is part of your new way of being. You got to ask for it. You got to show up for it. You got to be there receiving it and not being afraid to hold back and say, oh, like the little small boys. Oh, I don't know, maybe, kind of. Like, that's not going to change our self-image. Okay. Yeah, totally. I'm in a role model for you, and I'm going to show you, because we're like a laboratory here. We're like the laboratory of humans, and we're going to show each other what's possible. And when we get stuck, we're going to like reach out and be like, I'm stuck. There's something coming up. Like, help me. I don't want to be stuck. Instead of running away, we're going to come back and ask for help. Because a big part of shifting our self-image is going to be like, I need some help here. I don't know what to do next. So as long as you show up and you ask for help and you're comfortable with that, there's not going to be any judgment. I hope you all have seen how we show up. Like, judgment has no place in, like, it's all acceptable here. Your vulnerable parts are just as welcome as the like, woohoo, I did something. So that's fun. Thank you, Jessica. Okay, so who's ready to create a new paradigm for ourselves? Who's ready for this? I can feel it. Look at that. I like the little hands. It's so fun. Okay, I'm not normally like such the cheerleader, but I'm feeling it today. It's the glow of the retreat coming through. Okay. So let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, I said some of the things, but here we go. Everybody see my screen? Okay. And Jessica, you can start to post those things that they're going to want to kind of download and have available on their computer for our exercises that we're going to do. So there's a couple additional exercises we'll be doing together, and she's going to put those links in Amazon so you could download those on your computer. And take a nice big deep breath, perhaps a root lock. Just like bring all your senses into this moment, into your body. I like that, tightening all the muscles in the body. Nice big deep breath. I'm here now, present. All the buzzers and beepers, I'm turning them off. I don't want any distractions. I want to be in the flow of this moment. And setting an intention for yourself and whatever wants to come through in this moment. Like, how ready are you for this? How committed are you to this? To the shift, to the opportunity, to the possibility. Another nice big deep breath. And a few things that I just want to share as we look into this. When something comes into reality for us, we believe it. And in fact, not only do we believe it, we take it for granted many times. But if something is only in our imagination and not in reality, we have a hard time believing it, right? And that's what we're here to question. So if money hasn't come in the way that we have wanted in the past, we may just honor the fact that we have some challenges believing that it's possible for us to have more of it. And this way of thinking creates a myopic, a very single, like, tunnel vision belief system that actually prevents it from becoming reality. And we are here to question that even if the past has looked a certain way around money, I need you to hear me and hear me clearly. That's your biggest obstacle right now. Holding on to the past and allowing it to self-identify who you are is your number one challenge, not the tactics, not the strategies. It's the belief in yourself. So if you learn everything I'm about to show you and you still hold on to a belief that it's not possible, you will not do anything with what I'm about to share. And I need you to catch yourself. I need you to be strong enough, and you might write on a sticky paper. I love sticky pads. You might have to write that you got to go back and listen to this over and over again, because you are the creator of your situation. If you don't believe it, it doesn't come into reality, or you self-sabotage. We got to stop that pattern once and for all. So the reason we're all working together and we're going through this is we're saying, well, I'm going to start taking baby steps to create a new reality, right? Our next tiny steps. The reason we're coming together and we're having these weekly meetings, and you're going to be in a pod group and you're going to be supported, is every week you are creating a new belief system about what's possible for you. That's your number one job. So you got to take action from what we're doing today to at least give you some kind of reinforcement that will counteract any belief system that tells you you can't do it. Because if you revert to you can't do it, doesn't work. Everybody hear me? I'd love it if you really hear me and put a note in the chat, just like, I get it. I'm hearing you. I'm the creator of this. And if I don't take action, I don't start to create a new reinforcement that it's possible, nothing's going to change. Thank you for that. And this is how we break those scarcity patterns, one step at a time, one day at a time, one tiny step at a time. So before we dive into, the money piece, I want to talk about the meta level of the money. And I told people in the advisory group, this is the slide I was telling you about this morning. We're looking at this wealth building ladder. It starts at the personal needs and the survival. And many of you might feel like you're in survival mode because you're just getting by. You just have enough to pay the bills, or maybe not even that. And what I'm saying to you is that's a really tough place to be, because any risk that you take in your life, and I want to say kudos to you if you're here, because something had to bust inside of you, some kind of paradigm like broke open. Maybe it's just a little crack, but in order to be here, you had to say, well, I'm willing to invest in myself, even though my scarcity patterns are so strong that it almost feels like a matter, mere survival is at stake. When you're living and only serving your personal needs and trying to pay your bills and living like hand to mouth, or just barely getting by, or even operating that way, your problem is that you feel like it's life or death in the decisions that you make. So if you can relate to that, know that that is the thing that I was talking about a few minutes ago. It holds you back. It keeps you from moving forward because you're just it feels like you're on the precipice of falling apart rather than on the precipice of opportunity. No one should just be living this way unless they choose to, like they're in like some Zen monastery and they're like, I just want the bare minimum. But none of us, I don't think any of us are living in a monastery last time I checked. We really want to be in the next one, at least, where we're taking care of the needs of others too. And this could be in a charitable way, it could be our family, but we also want to be able to take care of others in our family, in our community, in our network. We don't want to just be living for ourselves, barely surviving. Does that make sense? Like that's not. So then we move into, we want to be able to provide for others. I just heard a story of someone who, a relative, like a fiance's brother is a pro golfer, and there's no way that he can follow his dream financially on his own. And so this guy is literally devoting his ability to pay for this guy's living expenses while he tries to follow his dream. You know how good that would feel to say, I am able to afford to pay for someone else to follow their dream. Like, who wants to be able to do that? Okay, so then we move into this legacy building for the future, this purpose beyond wealth. What's possible? If money is a form of energy, money flows and channels to those who have an intention for it beyond themselves. That the sole purpose that we're all here for is not just to build wealth for ourselves. It's about being able to achieve something beyond ourselves, right? We all have dreams that go way beyond ourselves. And that might be our clients, that might be our communities, there might be something else. But I'm going to tell you, it's really important that you start thinking, what's the purpose beyond wealth here? I don't just want you doing all of this because of your survival needs. It's going to feel not that exciting even when you accomplish it. I want you to always be thinking, what's the purpose beyond? Do you want a foundation? Do you want a, retreat center? Do you want to help Indigenous people? Do you want, what is that? What's going to really fuel you? And make sure it's clear. What is that vision? It's about anchoring the reason that you're building wealth inside of your vision, making it your North Star, and making sure that this vision is at the center of what you're creating. You see that, how important that is? Like, you might share here in the chat, like, this is my vision beyond the money. This is what I already know I want to spend more. This is why. Because if we just are money, 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 I just want to buy these things, like, I don't think anybody's here for that. But if that's what's happening, when you get it, it'll feel really empty. And I think we know that inside of ourselves. So what is that vision beyond? Funding them. Beautiful, Catherine, like funding nonprofits, funding charities, and helping family, being able to, send my kids to college or help them dream bigger, whatever it is. Just make sure that you know that we want that there, because that's going to help you get through the challenging parts too, right? You're going to say, well, there's a vision beyond just this money right now. How can that fuel me to take actions? So Jessica, maybe you can help me, because someone's got the ability. It's really weird when that happens. I don't know how to get the drawing, but anyways, okay. So before I go to that next slide, I just want to make sure, like, does this make sense? It's important to have a vision beyond the money. Beautiful. Yeah, Batya this morning was talking about let's go ahead, like, we want to create a new self-image. She blew my mind because she said, I'm a philanthropist. And I was like, my mind just expanded. Like, I'm like, you can be a philanthropist, but I also want to be a philanthropist. Like, what if I'm just a philanthropist right now? And everything I'm doing is coming from that place of, and even making money in our business can still be a philanthropist, because you're not taking care of yourself, you're not able to help others, you're not building a legacy for the future. It's kind of hard to be a philanthropist. So, like, let's state the destination. Do y'all feel that? Like, what if you just say that's what you are right now? And you say, well, what does a philanthropist look like? What do they smell like? What do they talk like? Super fun. Yeah, y'all can relate to that, or many of you. Okay, thank you for reminding me about that, Batya. Okay, so we're diving in. There's two parts to this workshop. The first part, and then we're going to take a break, is around just money, money, money right now. Let's make sure, let's take it. It's like a restart. Let's just think about money and where it comes from and how we can get it. And we've got some exercises, and I'll at least get you started. I'll at least allow you to have a few minutes to start these exercises. You're going to continue on beyond, and you can come back this afternoon if you want more, because we're doing this again at 3 o'clock Pacific time today. Then we're going to break, and then we're going to move into the number one thing that causes us to not make as much money as we want in our businesses. And we're going to do those exercises. Okay, so we're going to dive into the number one thing that holds us back and that we need to stop doing. And I'm going to show you, and we're going to workshop it together, so we're all helping each other in how we can stop doing this. And I want to train you to stop it, because I still do it. I need to hear this message over and over again. Now y'all are going to be part of the club. Okay, I'm just going to state there's lots of different ways to make money, but I'm going to give you some examples real quick. Makers make things. I wish I had my pillow from Jay here today, but the maker is painting, right? Or making water bottles, or making food, or making phones, or making, right? Anything that's like physically created is a maker. Guitars, drums, you name it. You know, and if you're a maker, share that. I know, Leanne, you've been a maker. That's your dream. So share that. Makers make stuff, create, build. They might still outsource and other people make them, but they have the vision of what needs to be made. And those things might be shipped places, right? Number 2 is teacher. We know something and we can teach it to others. Some of us overcomplicate it, me. Like, there's so many things that you can teach that you know other people would like to know, and you teach them how to do it. Follow me? So just in the chat, because I want this to be interactive, what's something you could teach other people to do that you would enjoy teaching other people to do? Teacher and researcher, investigator. So Gia, what would you like to teach people to do? How to dance, how to interpret their dreams. Yeah, what else? How to breathe. Ooh, powerful stuff, yes. What else? Heart lines in your hands. How you love is in your hands, fun. How to cook. How to design a kitchen, floral design, be in your body. Oh, how fun. How to receive the soulmate, start a creative business, how to tap. Yes, super fun. See, like so much fun, so much fun. Okay. Now services are, this is when you're doing something for another person, different than teaching. This is like, you know, in our visionary passive income, we will not just teach people things, but we'll like create their someone's freebie for them, or we'll build out their funnel. So we create a service where that service is done for you. I can mow your lawn. You know, it's a service being done for someone. You're not teaching them how to mow the lawn. They wouldn't do that. They want it done for them. So you come in and you provide a service for them. You follow me? And interesting enough, Catherine, I would say life insurance is a service for someone. You're doing the insurance for them. You've got all the stuff, and then you're doing that service for them. That's why they call it financial services. Okay. Portrait photography. Somebody wants a picture and you're doing it for them. You're giving them the picture, the service of taking the picture and having it be awesome. Building a website. Massage. Yes. Yes, exactly. So keep those going. If you want to share what services you could do for someone else. Sometimes too, I will say services are like a faster way to cash than teaching someone something. Because if you can find somebody who's like, I need this thing and I'm willing to pay for it right now, and you do it for them, it's like match made in heaven. And sometimes it's fun to play with. I could teach somebody this, but I could also do this for them. And maybe the money comes in one way, but not the other way. That's why it's good to keep these things in mind. I could teach it to them, but I could also do it for them. Always keep that open mind. Virtual assisting, 100%. The next one down is curate experiences. So if I was in the business of creating retreats, that's a curated experience. People come and experience something with me. We can do this virtually or in physical form, curating an experience, a nature walk. I know, Marnie, you do these sorts of things. You curate experiences for people. I might even say, Marnie, holding circles is curating an experience because it's a very interactive thing. You're not doing it for people. They've got to show up and do it. You're curator of experiences when you're holding circle space. Is there a question and go ahead, and Jessica will help as well if you have questions about these, but I want to keep going. Curating communities is when we create, I'm curating, Jessica and I are curating a community here. We're bringing people together to support one another. This could be a mastermind. This could be a book club that people, if you want to make money off of it, that people pay to be a part of because of, something that you're doing or facilitating. But what's funny with curating communities, and Bryn's been involved in this, is like, you got to really expand your thought. It's more about the process of bringing the right people into the room so that the magic can happen. It's not about you providing a service as much as you bringing the right people and the right, principles to the group. And then you actually can make money doing that. It's pretty cool. Right people in the room with the right goal, because everybody wants to be there for that. And then finally, another one would be investigate things. People have podcasts. Have you seen the true crime? This is the most classic one that I can think of. True crime podcasts, making millions of dollars because people love to dive into true crimes and create podcasts about them. They're investigating things and they're making money by investigating. A blog writer who investigates could be in investigating things. They make money through their blogging. But there's lots of ways that if you're really obsessed with something, you could investigate it and actually make money by getting it out there to people who also are interested in that same thing. And I would say a lot of media is created around investigating things. Some of the most popular people on YouTube who make a lot of money from YouTube are investigating things. It's funny because I kind of feel like my daughter's doing that with her Instagram. They're investigating adventure. And people want to see them in adventure. And then they get followers, and then people pay them because while they're investigating nature and adventure, the sponsors want to pay them like $5,000 for a 40-second reel. Who would have thought? Amazing. By investigating adventure, following their bliss, that's what's happening. Okay. You follow me on some examples of ways to make money. Okay. So we're going to go a little deeper in a little different angle. And we're going to talk about ways to actually earn money. So this is when I want you to, I wanted to give you that, but this is a different way of thinking about it because now I'm getting into the tangible way of how can you make money. And you're going to get the slides that we've got here. We'll post them. So when you're watching it, you can also go back and look at whatever you want. But I'm going to go into these individually. I just put this together pretty quickly, but there's 5 things. Sell your time, services, resources, sell your stuff, ask for stuff that to sell that belongs to others. We're getting into that like nitty gritty, like if you want to get some money really, really fast, you're going to be invited to look at which of these is like the low hanging fruit. I'm going to go into them individually. Use your money to make more money and ask for money. So we'll just dive right in. Okay. Most of us resonate. And I don't know, Jessica, there is a way to clear those lines. If you might have to research it and online and then do it. But if you want, it'd probably be great to okay, because they're going to show up in every slide. Sell your time, services, resources, coaching, workshops, assisting services, problem solving skills. When we tune into this one, this is the one that many of us are very familiar with. If you're teaching a yoga class, you are teaching that yoga class and receiving payment for the time that you show up and the service that you provide as a yoga teacher. Coaching is the same way, workshops. This particular slide is the one that the second part of today's discussion is going to go more into detail with, but I just want to make sure you know it's here, okay? We're going to spend more time on the other ones because I think that they will activate some thoughts of what's possible. But okay, the next one, sell your stuff. Now there's intellectual property that you can sell, things that you've learned that other people want, that you sell those ideas to other people. But you can also sell ebooks. You can sell cars that you own that you're not using. You can sell gold. You can sell clothes that no longer fit you. You can sell furniture or things in a storage locker or things that you haven't used in many years that other people would like. You can sell collectibles. You can sell art. You could sell a business. But selling your stuff isn't you doing a coaching, right? Or a service. This is like taking an inventory of what do you have that you could actually sell right away. Facebook Marketplace, I have to say, is probably the best place right now. It's free. Take a picture, you put it out there and you see what happens, right? What could you sell in your local market? Sometimes you have to ship it, better to not get into that if possible. But I want you to be thinking about the fact that this could actually land a lot of money into your wallet in the coming month if you just look around. When we, funny story, folks. Okay, one of the things I want to also say here is that if you're rusty at making a lot of money, to me, this is actually the best possible thing you could do. Because I want you getting in front of people and negotiating money, even if it's 20 bucks. I actually want you receiving money, going through the actions of posting this stuff on Facebook Marketplace and selling it. The reason I say that so convincingly is that Zoe Peterson, my daughter, here's what's crazy about what's happening for her. So when Kelby and Zoe took our invitation to move to Sedona, they needed to get their stuff to fit into 2 cars, and they knew they were going to be living in our small guest house here while they were with us for this past year. They got rid of most things. Now, funny enough, Zoe had bought most of their furniture from Facebook Marketplace, so she was familiar as being a buyer. Now she turned the dial and she started selling stuff on Facebook. So she sold everything that didn't fit into the car, and she made several $1,000s in a very short amount of time that, went into their bank account. When she got here, we were realizing that we were selling our house in Flagstaff and we had a ton of stuff. So she had already developed a skill. She made $10,000 to $15,000 on Facebook Marketplace selling our stuff now. And she was doing all the negotiation. She was doing the exchange. She was getting in and I'm like, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. I'd gladly have you, and we'll split it. You get half the money, we'll get half the money for selling all our stuff. She thought that was a great deal. But guess what, folks? Little did we know she was going to start an Instagram page. And little did we know that it was going to take off. And all of a sudden, brands started reaching out. And for the past year, Zoe had become really good at negotiating with people on Instagram. And that skill paid off. And now she's negotiating with brands all over the world, $5,000, $10,000 deals a pop. And those skills she learned and got comfortable with selling stuff has paid off into she's making over $10,000 a month in a business she just started. Do you think that they're completely separate, or could you believe that they're actually related? I want your muscles getting familiar with what it's like to sell stuff. So I don't care if you've got some gold that you need to take to the jewelry store to trade it in because it's like broken necklaces or things that don't get, I don't know what it is, but I need you to do something just to show the universe that you're like, I'm ready to get this money thing going on. Books, like so much. So I love it. I'm seeing you feel this. It's all related. The habit of receiving money and knowing that you can create it and that you are a money creator is going to help you. So some of you, because I know Mauricio, we talked about this, was like, I don't have anything to sell. Well, guess what? You got a whole bunch of friends who probably do. And that deal that Zoe and I negotiated 50-50, I bet you anything, you got some friends who would love to get rid of some stuff. And if you say, hey, could we split it? I'll take it. Half. I'll give you half. Could we work together on this? Then there's another opportunity. So I don't want any excuses of like, I didn't have any stuff to sell. Because you probably have somebody else. And if they're like, you take that off my hands, you get it posted, you do that, you're going to laugh when you see how easy it was to do the Facebook and figure it out and post it. You don't have to tell them how easy it was because they're going to give you 50% when you sell it. But you follow me? I don't want anyone to say I couldn't do this. There are other people that you could do this for. Light bulb. I'd love to just check in. At least one thing, if money's not pouring in your business, because we're going to have plenty of that. But if you're really trying to get momentum and get out of inertia, then I just want you to say, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm hearing you and I'm going to do it. I'm going to find something and I'm just going to go through the process. I'm going to see what happens. Awesome. And even if you have, money coming in, you still might have fun with this, or go get a friend to do it for you. Lift someone else up and let them sell it for you. Okay. Help them. Okay. Because it's going to get the wheels going. It's going to get you out of inertia. It's going to get you open to possibility. Okay. Mindset shift first. It's not just about the $20 that you make. Could be a lot more than that, right? It's not about the $20. It's about the action of making this happen. Okay. We also have a couple others: using your money, using your resources to make money, investing, day trading, investing in businesses, making loans to others, renting your stuff out. We have an Airbnb business right now. We're not doing it, but we have houses. That's the plan. You can rent out your car on Turo. I have heard of people, one of my friends loves Teslas. And I actually researched this because I was like, I don't believe her. She's like, I want a Tesla, but I don't want to pay for it. Anybody ever felt that way? I want this thing, but I don't want to pay for it. Coolest thing ever. You buy a Tesla, you can drive it most of the month, but you make it available on Turo and you rent it out a day here, a day there. It will pay your car payment in a couple days a month because people want to come and test drive for a couple days. The Tesla, you will rent it out and it will pay your car payment every month. And you can have a Tesla for free. It's the coolest thing ever. And I was like, oh my gosh, is that really possible? It's just, you just got to get in line to get the Tesla, but I'm not kidding you. And if you could literally buy it and turn it in, she makes about $500 to $600 a month renting out her Tesla that she uses sometimes, and then she rents it out. She positive after she pays the car payment, folks. She's making money by owning a Tesla and renting it on Turo. And there's probably a gazillion other things like this, but are you like, I just want to say money is everywhere. I just need to get focused action going. Okay. Pretty fun. Okay. So that's one of them. And then finally, some of us, there's some people owe us money. Ask for money, collect it, go back to people who never paid you, ask them to pay you now. Kind of blow their mind because they thought you like forgot. You show up and it may actually produce some money in your bank account. You can also crowdfund. If you have a really big vision about what you want to create, folks, even if it starts with you having your business take off, you can share that vision with other people. And you never know, if the vision's big enough, it gets people excited. I don't know if you ever saw, there was this really silly game that was like a crowdfunding, and the game was like a card deck, and you literally each card told you the thing to like throw at your friends. It was like the stupidest thing ever, but it took off. It raised like $5 million for this business to get started, to create cards that tell you like something weird that you do with your friends. You pick a card and then you do this as a game, like with your friends. $5 million on Kickstarter. Like, if you have a big enough vision that others would be excited about it, why not start your crowdfunding, your Kickstarter? You could do it. And it starts with you taking a baby step. So I'm just going to say, there's nothing wrong with that. You got to, this goes into self-image. Your vision, you got to step into your self-image saying, am I the person who could actually believe in myself that this vision could come into reality? You start working on that and people will come and help bring your dreams into reality. They will help you fund it. If you believe in it and you're really committed to it, people will feel that. Even if that's just your business right now, okay? And sometimes we can kind of crowdfund and also offer a service. We can combine these things together too. We could do a class, but there's a bigger vision, but come participate in this class and pay me for this class, but it's part of this. This is what I want, and this is the beginning. Share that story with other people. Allow it to become bigger than you. I don't know, Jody, I can't remember. It was a while ago, but I'll find it and share it. It was just hilarious. Oh, good. Thank you, Catherine, for 1 million in 3 days. Burrito, there it is, burrito throwing game. Okay, thank you. You're so awesome. We got friends, we got community. Okay, I'm not just making this stuff up. Okay. What I want you to do, I'm going to give you a few minutes right now, okay? I want you to, which of these, I wrote four, but it's 5 ways. Which of these 5 ways is most interesting to you? I'll go back to that slide. I'm going to give you some time. Let's see. You can tune into what's coming through. Which of these things are really resonating? What do you want to seize on? What might be a baby step and what might be a longer term step? Like, what do I want to do right away? You can ask yourself, do they seem fun? Do they seem doable? Am I excited about it? Which ones are potentially bringing in money the fastest or the most? Anything you need to research first. But again, I'm just going to go back, and what I want you to do, let's go back to these. I want you to think in this moment about, just let it come through. And I'm going to give you 5 minutes to just see. You might just sit and breathe at first and then just see what's wanting to come through, because I shared a lot of information. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to look at these and just write down on a piece of paper what's coming through to make some money fast without the mind garbage. Okay. Sorry, folks. Yeah, Batya, I'll put those questions in the chat. So see what's coming up and then give me a minute and I'll do that. Oh, I need to do that. Sorry, folks. I put those questions in the chat. Couple more minutes. Okay, we're wrapping it up. Okay. So back to these questions, higher rates, beautiful. Selling my stock from my store, online store, market. Yeah. Um, what I wanted to do was get you at least thinking about this, because I'm sure you're gonna spend more time. And Jessica, you could post these again. We have a couple exercises that we're gonna give you that you can take what you started and then continue on, because I think depending on how far you want to take this, there's a couple things you can do. One is remember, we all learned about flow recently. And so there's this agitation and kind of like what I'm stirring up in this call today. And then there's the letting it go that's going to happen after the workshop. And then there's that entering into flow. And so there's a few worksheets that have, there's one that's like 50 ideas. Inside Thinkific, we've already started this class and it's all going to get posted there. But inside Thinkific, there's a 50 ways to make money. That would be something that a great exercise for going into flow. And you just write, you just let, it's after you walk away from this workshop, you just let it pour through you. And if you do that, then you can come over to this worksheet that Jessica just posted, and you can start to look at like, what are the things I love to do? This is based on services and stuff, but you can change the way that this works for you depending on what you do. But what I wanted to have you notice is the services I want to do, and then what are the services that people are wanting? Because remember, we're always trying to make sure that we're lining up with, this is what I want to do, and this is what the world needs. And that's what this workshop is, this worksheet that we're showing you right now on the screen is about. Like, we got to pay attention to what does the world need too. So this will help you, but I would want you doing the brainstorm of just the brain dump of all the different things that you could possibly do to make money. And then you could start to use this to narrow down, these are the things I'm going to focus on. Especially if you have a ton of ideas, you want to pull out the best ones. Some of the ideas aren't going to be the greatest ideas. You're like, they fall to the bottom, and some are going to rise to the top. So if you're going to sell stuff, you can see like things I have and then things other people are going to want. Sometimes we don't know, but you follow me what I'm saying. Like, the cool thing about selling gold is there's a jewelry store somewhere in your geographic location that's going to want that gold. So if you have it and somebody's going to pay you, and all you have to do is go to the store and give it to them and let them sort through your bag of gold, that would be a top one, you know, because you can see that other people want it. There's a market for it already. As less and less people want it, and you have to go working to find them, that is not a fast way to cash, but it is still a pathway to cash, right? So we're just noticing the more somebody wants something, the faster you're going to get the money for it. Does that make sense? Because this is a earn money fast idea to start, but then it's only meant to start and jumpstart and get you going and realizing that you can make money and it's happening and you're in control. And then once you do this exercise, if you want to narrow it down even further, you can pull out like, these are the services that are coming through to me, and here's the stuff that I want to focus on selling right away. Okay, I just wanted to give you some tools to kind of ask yourself to synthesize, this is where I want to spend some time. Making sense? Tracking with me? And these are, Jessica gave you the links to those. I'm going to give you a couple ideas just to show you, and then we have some other questions that we'll give you, and then we're going to take a break and do the second part of this. And I have a feeling we're going to run over, but it will be recorded if you have to leave at the 30 minutes. Actually, I'm just going to see. We're going to give you some questions in this presentation, and you can take a screenshot of this. But what I also wanted to do was give you some questions of like, once you decide these are the things that I think I want to work on, you can work through these questions. Like, my biggest idea is I want to sell paintings or photographs, or, you know, Sally, what you wrote, like portraits. What are you going to charge for it? How many could be sold fast? In what ways can I sell it? How am I going to get the word out about this? We talked about Facebook Marketplace for stuff. What are the things I have available to me right now that would allow me to get out there and sell this thing? How much money could I make from it? If I sold 30 of them and they're $25 a piece, I could make $750. But once I get it set up, I could keep it going and make money ongoing from this. And so these questions are like, and then the final two, any adjustments or things that I need to really pay attention to see if this is working? And is this really an idea I want to pursue? Yes or no? You see that? Like, we could use this for everything in our business, quite frankly, but I'm using it right now to get you thinking so you don't run ahead and do something. We want to be able to prioritize the ideas that we have and pick the ones with the most money, the fastest, right away. So these questions are going to help you do that. And Jessica, I don't know if you can get into that. Actually, I know what I can do. Just bear with me. I can put these questions. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to cut and paste and put this in the notes right now. So these questions, they're not on a worksheet, but they're right here. So I just put those questions inside of chat. So you can copy those if you want. Pricing, how many could be sold, all of that is there to copy and paste. Quick, down and dirty to figure out, what, here's those questions. You could also take a screenshot if you wanted to of this. Okay. What's fun too about this, for those of us who have been in business for years, is maybe we make it too complicated and we just need to make sure and do this, like for all of the stuff that we're thinking about selling, so that we really ground it in like, is this going to help me achieve my goal quickly? Can I be reasonable about it? A couple tips as we go through this, just money mindset, and we'll wrap this up, is I want you, take a screenshot of this. I want you, through this exercise, to face your fears. So if you're not facing your fears, you're probably not pushing yourself enough. You're gonna have to face your fears. What are people gonna think about me? Over the weekend, in the retreat, there was this, I'm gonna look desperate. I promise you, if you have that belief, I'm gonna look desperate, it's a really hard belief to be in business with that belief, because it's going to keep coming up every time you want to make more money. So that'd be a great one to bring to one of our breakthrough calls, is let's take that one on, write that down. If you are afraid of looking desperate because you're selling stuff, you need to let that stuff go. Follow me? As a business owner, not going to help you. You'll always have that come up. And it might be unconscious, but so that's the first one. Now, the second one is stop telling yourself, I can't do this. I can't do it. You got to let that go if that's coming up for you. I don't know why when I download from Google into my computer, it always changes the numbers and I never know what's going to happen. So we're going 1, 2, 1. Stop comparing and giving yourself all the reasons why not to do this. And I need you to prove the world wrong. And I say that because we all have these beliefs about something, but imagine if you are here on a mission to prove the world wrong, then all of your limiting beliefs are wrong. I'm just going to prove the world wrong. Every time I hit resistance, I'm just going to prove the world wrong. Take full responsibility for your journey of making some money fast. And finally, stop giving stuff away. I can almost stop giving shit away, because like we're all doing it. Like, you don't have to. There's opportunity here. Stop giving things away. Make some money on it. Okay, Jody, you can hide. Okay, if you're afraid of looking desperate, Jody said you cannot have your friends see it. Okay, there you go. Do these make sense? There's probably a lot more, but I just wanted to tackle the ones that were coming to mind. Make sense about that? Was going to make it free. Yeah, Marnie, don't do that. People, I mean, and when they invest their money, they care about it. It means it's important to them. Would you ever want to invite people to have something of substantial value, not be seen as worth it? It's up to us to step into that. Okay. Had some other stuff that'll be on the slides, but I want to take a break so that we have time to dive into this next part, because it's workshopping and it's awesome. So we're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we're going to dive into the second part, which is around, let's see, I'll show you. Actually, I'll ask this question. before we break, what would you be able to achieve if you were always looking for opportunities to earn more money? What would you be able to achieve if you're always looking for opportunities to earn more money? And that's what we're activating here. You'll see I've got tons and tons of ideas. If you need help, we'll get you more ideas. We've got so much stuff. You can just look through these lists in follow-up to the workshop. In foundations, things that we can help you with to help you do this. But part 2, we're going to dive into the number one thing in achieving business success that we all need to know, and we all need to be thinking about. We're going to workshop it. So 5 minutes back in, for me, 9:08, and then we'll dive in again. Thank you so much.